it's already Tuesday. Sorry to be starting this reading vlog later in the week than I would prefer. I just got done filming a video and I'm actually uploading last week's Dracula vlog right now. I just got done editing it and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to start this week's because I'm still reading it. And that is what I'm about to do. I have to take the puppies on a bit of a walk, and during that I will be listening to Dracula. I listened to a little bit of it today during my commute home, and a major character I think is about to die. It's a strange book. It's a little hard to get into, but now that I'm in it, I kind of like it. Hey, you want to go on a walk? Ooh. You want to go on a walk? Oh my God. You can't. So I was looking at my wall and I was just like, oh, that looks good, but I could have sworn that I had way more cockroaches last year. And I found this bag. It's just filled with them. What psychopath buys this many cockroaches? No, it's mine. None for you. Get out of here. Who do you think you are? You're a wreck. You're a wreck. You're a wreck. What kind of monster gets this much Halloween stuff when they already have so much Halloween stuff? Me. My center is already filled with Halloween stuff, but I needed more. My house is already like pretty decorated with Halloween stuff, but I need more. So now, like, I mean, some of it is for childcare. All of it is for my party, which is next week. But I'm starting to get a little anxious for it. I know this is not Dracula related. The party this year, I decided to have a theme. Well, my friend suggested that I have a theme, and I was like, ooh, a themed Halloween party, that's kind of fun. So I chose villains. So everyone's coming dressed as a villain, and I'm deciding to do female Kylo Ren. Actually, I think I have my outfit completely together, but should be like pretty saucy. And then for childcare, I'm gonna dress up as Snow White because I already have the costume. I was Snow White last year, so I just need to make it like kid appropriate. I'm really excited. This should be a pretty like dank Halloween weekend. Look at these dogs. Hi, what's up, girly girl? Love you. I see you. I see you, handsome. How are ya? Oh, where's your other leg? Where did it go? And a crazy boy. No. No, I'm going somewhere. No. You guys are so rude. Go come back. Do you want something? Jesus.
Yep, we're right here.
Where?
Right where we started. The entrance is right around the corner.
We did it.
Oh. Well done, everyone.
That's right.
We did it!
Big old circle. Here, why don't you?
Auto
adorable. What? Oh, babies.
To me, it doesn't even look like they grew here. It looks like someone just like threw them in.
That's what
Such a good scene.
When posed 24 different times for each second of film.
After a puppet is a character is sculpted, then it goes to the molding department and goes through the entire molding process. After they make the mold, they
Will never make a present. It's been dead for much too long. Try something fresher, something pleasant. Try again. Don't give up. All together, back on this with all artists. We're making Christmas time.
Oh my gosh, this is Jack! Yeah! This is so good! You killed it! I mean, I need to probably put a little deeper holes in his nostril area, because there are some there, but...
That's amazing.
It's so cute!
It's so cute.
As soon as I saw that one, I was like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Oh man, that Jack though, that looks good with the oogie boogie, and then my little baby fucking pumpkin. Yeah, they are cute. Looks good. Hello everyone, it is Sunday, October 20th. I am not cute right now because I'm about to go to childcare and do some deep cleaning because we have our party this Friday. Woo woo. And I didn't do a lot of check-ins, explicit check-ins yesterday, but I think I got enough footage that you guys know what happened. And during the drive to my friend's house and back from my friend's house, I was listening to Dracula on the audiobook. And actually from my friend's house, so I left at about 10:30. And it was the part where the men are kind of realizing something's wrong and they go to check on Mina, and she has just been really pale and sickly looking and a mess. And they go in and they go in her room. And there's Dracula, but it's just this like tall, pale figure with blood running down his mouth. And Mina's all just like messed up and terrified. Oh my God, I was kind of freaked out driving home. Like, oh, because from my friend's house, there's not a ton of streetlights, or it's just a darker area of town. So I was like clutching the wheel, like, oh my God, so scared. Dracula's getting pretty good. There's a lot of horrific imagery. Mina was describing exactly how Dracula, what he did to her, and the whole like, yeah, so he's like sucking her blood, which, okay, terrifying. And then he uses his nail, cuts open his chest, and then forces her to suck some of his. And I was like, Jesus, that is dark. It's getting good. There's some lulls in it where I would like, personally, had I been his editor, Bram Stoker's editor, I would have been like, let's not. But it's getting interesting. There's a weird thing that I don't know if this is what books at the time did, if this is how they truly thought, or if Bram Stoker was using this as like a plot device, but where everybody's like, I have this like important information or creepy information or probably valuable information, but I don't want to worry the other person or someone else with it. I don't want to worry them. It will be worrisome if they know. And then because they're withholding this information, something bad ends up happening. They did that with Mina, but kind of, I love Mina. She's grown on me a lot. I'm like, you're a smart, classy lady, all about that. But then bad things start happening to her, bad dreams, and she's like, oh, I don't want to worry my husband. I don't want to worry the men. It will worry them to see me distraught. And it's like, well, you're very obviously being visited by Dracula. You're literally repeating verbatim what happened to Lucy in her diary, and you're weirdly being like, oh, it's just weird dreams. Girl, you know better. That was a little bit like, okay, you're being a little ridiculous. I know you're smart. Happens to Lucy? She doesn't know. You know better, Mina. So anyway, that was a little silly, but everything else has been pretty dope. So I only have 3 hours of it left. And today is Sunday, so it's chore day at my house, so I get a lot of audiobook time done. I'm going to be putting up decorations, so hopefully I can show you guys some of that. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, I'm back from childcare, but slight change of plans, although I'll still be able to listen to quite a good chunk of Dracula today, but also going to see Joker, which I'm really excited about. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of mixed things. I've been wanting to see it for a while, so that should be pretty good. And I should still have the rest of the day to get some chores and stuff done. The movie's at 3:30, so. The Joker was intense. I don't know, man. That was a lot. I'm smiling, but I was thoroughly engaged throughout the entire movie, but I'm left. I mean, if you've seen it, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just left, ooh, like the wind was knocked out of me, sort of. I just feel like I have a lot to think about and a lot to process, and I want to watch a lot of videos, like spoiler reviews, about what other people are taking from it, which I think is a good thing. It's captured my mind in a way. But I'm gonna listen to more Dracula, and on my way home, take care of the puppies, do some decorating. Let's go. Good morning, everyone. The sun is rising. I'm about to head out to work, and I have exactly 2 hours left on my audiobook for Dracula, which, because of Joker and grocery shopping and all this other stuff, I wasn't able to complete yesterday like I thought I would, but I also wasn't able to complete any decorating, so I'm hoping to get all of that fun stuff done today. I am determined. Only 2 hours left. I got home later than usual, and these dogs are just... What? Losing their minds for a walk, which I'm gonna do. It's actually a really nice night, but I have exactly 1 hour left of Dracula, so I think we can do it, guys. Saphira, can we do it? Can we do it? Can we finish Dracula? I know. marathon, and the final conclusion was a little lackluster, but the very, very final kind of image and message was actually extremely sweet and heartwarming, and I was like, oh, that's cute. But I mean, ignore the dog food. We'll move all this the day of the party. But I think my mantle looks pretty good. It's showing up more orange or pink on camera, but these are purple lights. And then this is a purple light. And this is just going to be the purple room. Those characters on top all have like the purple backgrounds. I think it looks pretty good. All right, so we're using the good camera in the filming room to kind of give my final thoughts and feelings about Bram Stoker's Dracula. I mean, first of all, did I like it and would I recommend it? I did enjoy it. I was worried there for a minute that maybe this was not going to be my thing. There were definitely a few points where the boredom or the tediousness of the plot was really pushing me to my limits. But then there were genuine moments of horror, of spook, of disgust, of shock. And that totally makes up for the lulls that some places in the book have. The format of it is interesting, and I like that the fact that everybody's writing everything down through letters or in their journals becomes an actual plot point in the book. That's clever, but would I totally give all of that up to have a more or less straightforward writing style and narrative? Yeah, totally. It's kind of lame not having everybody be in the thick of it in the moment. You know, whose ever perspective you're writing from survives, you know, or if someone like Lucy or Mina, where something very dramatic is happening to them, it's not happening in that moment, they're recounting it. The format is limiting for sure. I know Dr. Van Helsing is kind of the star of the show because prominent figure, name that gets thrown out with a lot of Dracula or vampire hunting series, because he's the original in this book, which I did not know. I did not realize that he was like such a prominent fictional character. But I think Mina is really the star of the show. She is awesome. Although her first like few chapters are so dull. Every time I went to Mina, I was like, no, no, no. But then she turned out to be very like cool, calm, collected, clever. I mentioned in the vlog, she and pretty much every single character in here suffers from, I have valuable information, but I don't want to share it with anyone else because it might startle them or it might worry them too much. And then because they didn't share that information, something bad happens to that very person. So that whole plot device was annoying, and even Mina suffered from that. But she was still just a cool character. I say that, but she totally reminds me, if you guys watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, when they're watching the play in the 3rd season, like of themselves, and there's like actress Katara, and she's just always crying about hope and never giving up. That's Mina. I thought how vampires were set up, they are overpowered like crazy. Like Dracula, not only can he turn into a bat and turn into a wolf, he can command bats and rats and wolves. And he can like go through walls or doors if he's been invited into that location. He can't cross over running water though, like God forbid. Seems very random. There's that point where Dr. Van Helsing, because he keeps the fact that he thinks Lucy is suffering from like a vampire bite or being visited by vampires until like almost Will Point halfway through the book. When he finally is explaining to all his compadres what a vampire is, and he's going through, they can live forever, they can become younger, they can command these certain animals, they can turn into those animals, he can command other vampires, and basically like speak telepathically through them or like call to them. It was like, and how do you plan on destroying him? Like, seems pretty good thing there's these arbitrary, like, he's completely weakened by the sun, and it's not even like, I remember an interview with a vampire, if sunlight hits them, it hurts them and they turn to stone. And it's not that. I think it's just like they just are frozen. They can't do anything between sunrise and sunset. At least I don't remember them saying anything about the vampires being explicitly hurt by the sun. And the whole running water and garlic, which they never explain why garlic, crucifixes. I also, and this is very old-fashioned of me, so forgive me and my not so modern sensibilities, but I really liked that Mina and Lucy, who are like the only female characters in this book, and they're just so beloved and protected by these men who, not just romantically, it's like not just their husbands or fiancés, it's just all these men who just want to save them and protect them and are devoted to them. And I was like, whoa, that rules. The climax was annoying. I will say that. Not even that it's not satisfying. Again, it's one of those things where there was a lot of detail when it came to travel, and I don't care. I don't care about those kind of details. That's not interesting to me. That's not fun for me to read or listen about. And that's just what I felt like the last 100 pages were all just travel logs and travel details of, and then the final confrontation, also fairly lackluster, but the final chapter was short and sweet and pretty darling. And so I don't want to say that makes up for the lackluster climax, but it was quite enjoyable. I thought what Lucy's fiance had to do to her was probably the most horrific thing I read in the entire book. And there was a lot of like weird, creepy, disturbing moments. Oh, and I also really liked the first 4 chapters from Mina as well. At this point, it's her fiance, main suitor, when he's actually at Dracula's castle and he's there, you're there with him for the first 4 chapters. I really liked that. I like being in Dracula's castle. It was so weird, and that's really fun to me. And then everyone goes back to England, and then all these weird things start happening in England. There was the psychologist that was dealing with the lunatic at the insane asylum. Although I found that fairly entertaining, I didn't really feel like it led to much. Wasn't inherently bad, but because it wasn't super tied into the main plot other than the fact that Dracula was involved, but we already know Dracula's involved because he was already dealing with Lucy and Mina. It's just something that I personally would cut or make way more important because I feel like we spend a lot of time with it. Maybe just for the spectacle of somebody being so insane. Well, insane. He's also being legitimately tortured and taunted by Dracula. But Dracula himself, if I can take a moment, is super interesting. Not quite what I was expecting. So someone made a comment in my previous Dracula vlog video about how Dracula, this like very classic vampire, isn't like a sex symbol. He's kind of charming, I guess, in the first 4 chapters when the guy is at Dracula's castle. You kind of figure out really quick that he's a monster and he's not like admirable or someone you want to be with. But I understand why literature ended up going more in that direction, because out of this entire cast of characters, he's the most interesting one. As much as I like Mina and Dr. Van Helsing, Dracula is, you know, the crazy immortal demon, bloodsucker, dangerous, like he could de-age. It sounded like all the lady vampires were extremely attractive. He's kind of captured my imagination, so I can only imagine for the 100 years or so since this book was released that pop culture would naturally progress towards wanting to know more about vampires and romanticizing them more because they're cool. I wouldn't say that there was a lot of detail in Dracula's, like there was detail in Dracula's appearance, but not necessarily that he was super handsome, more that he was very pale, had long canines, bright red lips, pointed ears. But the women vampires, oh my god, every single character mentioned that they had voluptuous lips. That was mentioned all the time, and just like these breathtakingly gorgeous but like sinister women. Or like Lucy and Mina are sweet and kind and modest, and these women are like va-va-voom, and it's like, well, they sound cool. If, and this is a big if, you are super interested in vampires, like that is your monster of choice, I would recommend dipping your toe into Dracula. I'm gonna try to watch a Dracula movie before the end of this month. I don't know which one yet. I'm gonna do some research and actually try to find the one that's closest to this book, or if you just like classics in general, because I think this was really well written and well done, even if the formatting was annoying. But it's not necessarily annoying because it was done poorly, it's just annoying to my like modern taste and what I'm used to when reading fiction. Totally would recommend the audiobook. That definitely helped getting through something like this, which isn't, I think, because of that time divide, immediately gripping. And I'm very glad that I read it for this Halloween. So anyway, that is going to be the end of this week's reading vlog, Dracula vlog part 2. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. That helps me out the most. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.